There are many beautiful and carefully tended sites around Modesto that any citizen would be proud to show off as the best this city has to offer. The McHenry Mansion, Reseda Park and its concerts, the Farmers Market, our older neighborhoods, and the new convention center are examples of places that makes Modesto an attractive and desirable place to visit or live. All this indicates a high quality of life in our hometown. In fact, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you measure Modesto's quality of life? New visitors to our city usually receive their first impressions upon entering Modesto from Highway 99, and they see off-ramps, roads, and businesses that show a lack of care and disregard for city regulations. First impressions are lasting impressions, and some of our city's first impressions are shameful. It doesn't have to be that way, however. A concerted and consistent effort by the city, county, Caltrans, and Modesto volunteer and service clubs can change those first and lasting impressions from bad to good. The value of these gateways into the city cannot be overestimated. Take Briggsmore Avenue and Highway 99, for example. Presently, our visitors see dead grass, weeds, and litter as they exit the highway to enter Modesto. Is this something to be proud of? It could be. Imagine if someone cared how this exit looked. Look at the difference a few months of planting, watering, and maintenance could produce. As a city, we have only one chance to impress visitors as to our community's value as a place to visit or relocate. A long existing example is this decaying wall between Sisk Road and Highway 99. The plywood surface is starting to delaminate and has numerous examples of neglect and vandalism. Is this the best face of the city we can possibly project? At present, the negative impact of these neglected roads and highway ramps cannot be measured in lost revenue, but the lack of civic pride is quite apparent. Is there a solution? Aggressive and persistent demands to Caltrans to supply the materials and labor necessary to transform these highway eyesores into showpieces would go a long way to improving the initial impression made on first-time visitors. Caltrans must be made aware, again and again, the quality of life in Modesto is a priority to the city and its citizens, and substandard care and design is not acceptable. At the intersection of Orangeburg and Briggsmore, there is a patch of bare ground that has no apparent purpose other than to collect signs during election years. Our suggestion is to use this area as a location to build an attractive greeting sign to visitors in Modesto. The area could be built and maintained using volunteer labor, garden clubs, and city employees. A simple and elegant display like this ensures that our visitors are positively impressed and welcomed upon entering the city we all live in. Not far away, however, they pass this house on Orangeburg Avenue, which begs the question, shouldn't it be finished by now? One neighbor stated to us that it's been this way for over 10 years. Thousands of cars pass by this spot every day, and those drivers see that maybe it's okay to leave the siding off a house for 1, 5, or even 10 years. Would other cities allow this to continue? And what about this house on Carpenter Road near Highway 132? It sits neglected. Tattered tarps hanging off the roof and all the unfinished boards slowly being rotted away by time and the ravages of Mother Nature. Weeds grow tall around discarded washers, and vines force their way into the house. A boat that is 6 years late on its registration awaits a city inspector that may never arrive. Once in town, many of our visitors have their senses assaulted by tasteless and in some cases illegal signs, banners, and noise. These signs are often up for months or years at a time, and enforcement efforts seem weak at best. Visitors must also pass open-air markets hawking wares on the street corner or selling food clustered in bunches of vehicles. Not to mention extremely loud music booming into the downtown streets every single night. How can downtown become a place for families to visit if the noise is so deafening that normal conversation is inaudible more than 100 yards away? If we all follow the lead of these businesses that flaunt and ignore the sign ordinances, we can expect consistently restrained storefronts that follow all current rules and regulations to become embarrassingly crass buildings with no regard for the city's appearance or regulations. These piles of dirt, rock, and asphalt are at the intersection of Kansas Avenue and 9th Street. In fact, they've been here so long, weeds and other plants have had time to sprout, grow, and die. And the pile is starting to attract other undesirable things. Why hasn't it been cleaned up? Is this a private creation or a government one? Private citizens aren't the only ones who are guilty of creating civic eyesores. The Mayflower building site on L Street was used as a dumping ground and storage building during the construction of the government center. But today it sits and decays while it remains with debris and garbage still strewn around it that resulted from the city's construction efforts. A few blocks away, the old Kay's costume shop sits closed and shuttered, while thousands of commuters drive around this ugly structure with the whitewashed windows. More than 2 years later, it still stands, a two-story eyesore in the middle of one of the busiest intersections in downtown Modesto. Modesto's image improvement could realize tangible results in weeks, but the solution requires the following. 1. Positive action by all involved, sharing a common vision for our city. 2. Consistent pressure to government agencies to fulfill that vision. 3. The community must cooperate if this vision is to be realized. So, knowing what you know now, let's ask the same question posed at the beginning of this presentation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you measure Modesto's quality of life?